I'm Helen.
And I'm Liz.
And we're sisters,
Scientists.
and lifelong X-Files fans.
And this is We Want to Believe.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome. Welcome, colleagues.
Welcome, colleagues. Today we're talking about stuff.
Never again.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what you were going to say.
For some reason, I was like, I watched this one. No, I didn't.
Luckily, no.
Yeah.
We're talking about Never Again. And then we're also talking about the matchup of Jerry Schnauz from Unruh with Terry and Margie from Syzygy.
Yes.
And then I also have a listener story that is very strange and creepy.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, I'm excited. All right.
And I also have another listener story for next week. So,
wow. Where are these from?
One is from a listener, and we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And one is from our cousin Pammy.
Oh my gosh. Awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Should we talk about the matchup first?
Yeah, let's do that. So, to remind people, Jerry Schnauz is the dude who's on stilts in that one scene with the Howlers. He kills the girl's boyfriend and abducts the girl. He does a lot. He abducts Scully. He's lobotomizing people.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
He's a lobotomizer.
Yeah.
I feel like he's somebody that would want to kill Terry and Margie just naturally.
Yes.
Because he's kind of evil and he seems to want to kill women and say, like, oh, you're tormented. And I mean, Terry and Margie clearly have issues.
Yeah.
So, Terry and Margie, Syzygy, they are kind of out of their minds. They're the two who are like cheerleaders and they are killing people left, right, and center whenever they annoy them. They squish some guy behind the bleachers. Which I think is where I first was having the idea of killing someone in stacks in a library.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like they're gonna beat him. I feel pretty clear about that.
I think they are too. I surveyed people, as I have been doing, and most people did think they would beat him, but it wasn't as unanimous as I expected it to be. I think. So one thing is, like, I want to clarify that Terry and Margie, part of their, like, kind of craziness is coming from the Zodiac and their birthdays and stuff. I don't know that they have magic powers as far as how to kill. But I don't think Schnauz does either.
No, he just seems more like a serial killer, like just more like there's the stuff with the Howlers and the film and stuff, right? But I don't think that's going to give him a one up, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's an X-file because of that, but it doesn't give him a supernatural ability to kill or lobotomize or whatever.
Right.
And so
I think we have to assume that they have access to something, because I don't think it would be.
Oh yeah.
Like in the matchup, like
it's not a cage match,
right? Yeah, even in, like, I think we have to. They can't just be like normal. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like,
they're not going to just beat each other to death if that's what you're.
No, I don't think so. No, even though I think it would have to be on a day when they had powers.
Oh, yes. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think otherwise it's not really the right matchup because as we see them in the episode, it is in the midst of their, I don't know, crazy universe-induced powers. I don't know that they have like dangerous abilities, but it makes them sort of evil and chaotic. And I think between the two of them, I mean, I think they kill Schnauz. I think it's easy, honestly. Like, I think you're right.
Yes. Yeah. Because, like, he might have the desire to go after them, but if they have any sort of these abilities on that day, then it's like, yeah, no, they would easily escape him
Yeah. I
or
mean,
leave him.
they're also after him in this scenario. They would say hate him, wouldn't want to date him, and they would come up with some plan to kill him in a, I don't know, ridiculous, crazy way. And he would not succeed, I don't think. I mean, it's especially given that there's two of them.
Yeah. No, I think they're the winners, and I'm
Yeah.
happy to see it, frankly.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, just to go over our winners so far, in the round of 16, we had Pusher versus Fluke Man, and Fluke Man won. We had Virgil and Canto versus Phyllis Paddock, and Phyllis Paddock won. We had the Gargoyle versus the Peacock family, and we decided the Gargoyle would win because he would possess one of the members of the Peacock family. We had Toombs versus Boggs, and we decided Toombs would win. We had the Eves versus Darren Oswald, and the Eves would definitely win. And we had most recently Cecil Lively versus Leonard Betts, and we decided Lively would win. I
That's
think
right.
that's
Yeah.
what we decided. Yeah. And then now we have Schnauz versus Terry and Margie. We decided Terry and Margie would win. The last in our round of 16 is Donnie Faster versus Eddie Van Blunt, which is a sad matchup. So Eddie Van Blunt is from the episode Small Potatoes. We're going to go slightly out of order of our bracket because that is not an episode we have reached yet. So we are going to discuss Small Potatoes a little bit out of order, which we have not ever done, but we're not discussing it next. Right next episode, we're talking about Memento Mori, the episode that follows Never Again, normal stuff. And we're going to jump into our round of 8, or the Elite 8, if you will. And that is Flukeman versus, I said it like it was a last name.
Mr. Flukeman.
Yeah, Flukeman. Um, the Fluke Man versus Phyllis Paddock. So that is the matchup we're going to talk about for next week.
Ooh, yeah, I don't like where this is going for our friend the Fluke Man.
Oh, I know, for Mr. Flukeman. Yeah. Uh,
Sounds
so
good.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, sounds good.
And we'll come back to Donnie Faster versus Eddie Van Blunt a bit later.
Perfect. And today we are talking about Never Again, which is like I kind of wish I would have watched it again. Because I remember feeling so weird about this episode when I first watched it because it seems so out of character. But I'm excited. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I feel like I felt differently about this episode when I first saw it than I do now. Like, I don't know if it's something about age or what, but it's very out of character for Scully, but it's out of character for Scully as we see her in the context of the X-Files. We don't know her as a whole person. This episode basically is about Scully kind of going off on her own to Pennsylvania. Something I want to mention is that I don't know why, but the next 3 or 4 episodes all take place in Pennsylvania, but in like different parts of the state and for different reasons, and
Huh.
they're unrelated. So I don't know what's going on there. Lots of Pennsylvania, but
America's Bermuda Triangle.
yeah. So this one is in Philadelphia, and oh, I just remembered that the episode Blood also takes place in Pennsylvania. I wonder if
Weird.
Pennsylvania is kind of overrepresented. Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, or is it something weird about the state of Pennsylvania? I say as someone with family from Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, our dad kind of thinks he's seen a UFO when he
It
was a,
sure seems like he thinks so. Yeah.
yeah, or at the very least, our grandfather thinks he saw
Yeah.
one. It's
Yes.
unclear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Weird stuff.
maybe or maybe Pennsylvania is properly represented in the X-Files.
Yeah, maybe it's the appropriate amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is in Philadelphia, and the cold open is this dude who's like drinking at a bar. His name is Ed Jurse. He's the main guy in the episode. And he's just gotten divorced and is depressed about it. And he's like looking at a photo of his family at the bar and being depressed and burns out his face on the photo. And I mean, I just don't like him
Dramatic.
off the bat. Yeah, there's a lot of like, yeah, like doing big dramatic moves that I have no tolerance for.
Yeah.
Um, so he gets drunk, he goes to a tattoo parlor, and he gets a tattoo of like a kind of pinup Betty Page looking sort of woman, that and it says never again underneath it.
Which
And
again is like, I don't know. I can't possibly imagine, and I know this is, I know where this episode is going, but I can't possibly imagine being a woman. Well, I am. I'm going to finish that sentence. And
but it's nice to pause in the middle, I think,
yeah.
kind of take stock of things.
And seeing that and being like, ah, yes, reasonable response. I'm going to be attracted to this man who has a tattoo that says never again by a woman.
I
Like,
mean, the only thing that would make sense to me is that and I don't think this is his motivation, is as if he's like, this will keep all women away from me because they will know it's such a red flag. I shouldn't be with women anymore because they'll just hurt me. So this is preventing that.
yes, yes, that would be a reasonable,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Although, as we see, it does not keep all women away from him.
No,
Um, So we do see him at work. He gets into a confrontation, an argument with a female coworker. He's doing some sort of like telemarketing type thing, like online, not online, like over the phone sales, cold calling, and he hears a woman call him a loser, and he thinks it's his coworker, but we can kind of tell it's not. It's the tattoo. Um, so and he's so that's the end of the cold open.
okay.
And then when we get to the main bit of the episode, we've got Mulder and Scully in their office. And so where this episode sits, the end of Leonard Betts is when we find out Scully has cancer.
Yeah,
So the weird thing is that this episode was meant to come before Leonard Betts. So apparently, in a lot of reviews, people say that this episode is like a response to, or like Scully's character, like responding to the fact that she thinks she might have cancer. But it wasn't actually written that way. And so I don't want to think of it that way. I feel like it makes it easier to be like, oh, she's acting out of character because of this big diagnosis. But
yeah, it was supposed to come first. It was
yeah.
like the Super Bowl or something, right? What was the
Right. It was they wanted to air Leonard Betts after the Super Bowl because it's a more traditional X-Files episode versus airing Never Again after the Super Bowl.
yeah.
So Mulder and Scully are in their office and they're talking about this Russian informant who says that he saw a UFO at the secret research facility. And Scully is just clearly in like a weird mood. And she kind of interrupts Mulder and is like, why don't I have a desk? And like, that's a really valid question. And he doesn't take it super seriously. And I mean, it would drive me nuts. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Yes. That is a very valid question.
And it's clear that like it's not just about the desk, it's about Mulder acting as if Scully is sort of his subordinate. And they kind of disagree about this, where he's talking about how like the X-Files are like his life's work and passion and all this. And it's like, okay, but remember, Scully was actually, as you both know and openly have talked about, she was put into the X-Files to monitor you, not to be your assistant.
Right. Yes. And like they have grown closer. Like presumably it's not like a bitterness because you're here to monitor me anymore. You know, like
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So she's cranky and he basically says like he's taking a few days off because he has to or he'll lose his vacation time and he's kind of being forced to. And so he's gonna take a few days off and he's kind of vague about where he's going, but he says it's gonna be like very spiritual and important to him. And kind of gives Scully an assignment to go and follow this Russian informant in Philadelphia. And Scully is irritated and is like, maybe I don't want to. Maybe, like, I don't want to be bossed around by you. But she does end up going to Philadelphia. And
can you
yeah,
imagine being bossed around by Mulder? Like I would lose my mind.
I don't feel like either of us are well suited to work with Fox Mulder.
No, no, I think I would kill him.
I
Like,
think I wouldn't last real long. I'd be like in one episode and then I'd quit.
yeah, I was like watching these now, it's clear that like David Duchovny is a beautiful person, uh, and very entertaining to watch, but like my God, I would just kill him. Like I could not ever.
No, no. I mean, we've both worked like crummy jobs and like weird jobs, and like we don't really like, I feel like we know when things are dysfunctional to leave, and things are very dysfunctional there.
Yes. Yeah. And maybe if like I was a single woman and my coworker was Fox Mulder, I'd be a little more lenient, but like no,
I
I
mean, the other thing is that it's like, it's clear that you're sort of all in if you're in the X-Files. It's like, this is going to consume your whole life. Like, Mulder is like being forced to take vacation time because he wouldn't otherwise. They're flying everywhere at the drop of a hat. So it's like, give up your hobbies, your friends, probably your family's going to get murdered, but that's not really Mulder's fault.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, just like, and because the thought of like Skinner bossing me around, I'd feel like, yes, I would trust his judgment. The thought of Mulder telling me what to do, like, I would just
Yeah.
absolutely not.
I would complain about Skinner giving me orders, even though he was my boss. I'd be like, what is with his attitude? And I'd be annoyed. But like, I would
You also
also,
probably wouldn't be in
yeah,
the FBI.
I probably wouldn't. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Like, there's a number of reasons that I, I guess we don't need to enumerate all the reasons. We don't actually need to consider what if I work for Skinner.
Yeah.
So, uh, back to Edgers. He gets fired from his job, and some Jehovah's Witnesses come to his door at his apartment, and he's acting really weird. And he's like, do you hear this voice? And they're kind of weirded out by him, and they leave. And so it's the tattoo is taunting him and basically like insulting him and telling him what a loser he is and not a good man and all this stuff and ripping on him for getting fired. And it seems to me like it's all the stuff that he imagines women thinking about him. Um, it is voiced by Jodie Foster.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, it's wild stunt casting. I don't know. I think it's neat. But then there's a kind of upsetting scene where he thinks what he is hearing is his downstairs neighbor's voice insulting him. Oh, I just realized that this episode is, well, I just realized something. We'll get back to it later when, never mind. We can leave this in. We'll get back to this sound. Well, I just realized something.
The sound?
We'll get me to my reaction. I mean, this
Okay.
yeah, we'll get back to that.
All right.
Yeah, so he goes and murders his downstairs neighbor, and it's a pretty upsetting scene, I thought. Where, you hear her screaming and he throws her body in the furnace.
Doesn't work
And
as well as you'd wish it would, for the record.
really,
Yeah, I mean, it just like a normal furnace isn't gonna get nearly hot enough to properly cremate someone.
unlike in the Burbs,
Oh yeah, right. They have that like that
it
wild.
was like 5,000 degrees or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That would do it. Yeah.
yeah. Really, I think I just can't imagine there's a lot of apartment buildings where you can go and access a furnace that you can open up and there's like a bunch of fire.
Yeah. No, I don't think they have those. Maybe they do in Philadelphia. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't live in any apartments in the 90s, but I mean, by the end of the 90s, I had friends who did. They never told me about any
No.
fireplace, not fireplace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, he somehow manages to burn up this woman. Um, he does then eventually realize that the voice is coming from the tattoo. And Scully is now in Philadelphia because she's listened to Mulder, and she sees the Russian informant going and into this tattoo parlor, then like into the back of it. And so then Ed is also inside and is arguing and saying he wants the tattoo removed. And so she goes in. First of all, I wanted to mention earlier when he gets the tattoo and he's drunk, no tattoo artist I've ever known would do a tattoo for someone who's drunk. In fact, you have to like sign off on the fact that you aren't drunk.
Yeah, that I mean, maybe if it's a shady enough place. Like I'm thinking of in Parks and Rec, the when Leslie and Ben are drunk. And, I mean, I realize this is also a TV show, but they go to get tattoos, and there's that real shady guy who's like, this is a pawn shop, and pauses and is like, but yeah, I can give you tattoos.
I suddenly remembered I don't think they did tattoos when I was a student there, but at NIU, there was a body piercing place run by a man called Kenny the Body Piercer.
Oh yeah.
Remember Kenny the Body Piercer? And he wore a white coat and would say ambiguously, I come from the medical side of things.
That's so much more alarming.
It really is. He was not a doctor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
times.
so maybe in certain situations they would.
Yeah, I suddenly could picture Kenny the Body Piercer being involved in this whole scene.
Let's put it this way. You should not go to a tattoo artist that would tattoo you when you're drunk.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the tattoo artist just keeps telling Ed, like, you get the tattoo you deserve. So it seems like he might know that they have magic powers, and it's like I don't know. It's a wild statement. Like I'm trying to imagine like with real tattoos what that would possibly mean, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Ed and Scully kind of start talking, and like he is good looking, okay, but like she first saw him freaking out and yelling about his tattoo.
That's not enough.
I feel like Scully, if you want to pick up a random guy in Philadelphia, don't choose the one who's in the shady tattoo parlor with the Russian UFO guy going into the back of it and arguing about his tattoo. Like,
Yeah.
ah,
Plenty. It's a big city. Go
yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
else. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So Scully talks to Mulder on the phone that night and says that she's discovered that this guy who claimed to have seen a UFO is a con man. He's part of the Russian mafia. Um, and at that point, we find out where Mulder is, and it is Graceland. So I like that. Um, we see him
You've
in
been to
Elvis's
Graceland.
house. I have been to Graceland. Yeah, it was something to do. I don't know.
I really like the album Graceland by
Paul
Paul
Simon?
Simon. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a great song.
why is that called Graceland? Oh, is there a song called Graceland?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
Do you not know that song?
I don't think I do.
Once again, I'm not, but I'm tempted to start
Start
singing it.
singing it?
Yeah.
You probably should.
But what I will say is we a few years ago we met some friends in not Graceland, but some Dollywood. We met some friends at
Mm.
Dollywood, and we're driving through Tennessee because that's where it is. And that was on the playlist. And there's a line, my traveling companion is 9 years old, and he's the child of my first marriage or something like that. And William was 9 at the time. And,
Oh,
yeah, and I felt like, yeah,
that's he is the child of your first marriage. That is technically true.
that is true.
So, Scully calls Jers because he gave her his number, and she had originally said, "Oh, I'm leaving tonight," but then she's so annoyed by Mulder on the phone that she decides to call him, and they go out for a drink in a bar that looks a lot like the same bar that Mulder went to in 3, the terrible vampire episode where Scully wasn't there, and Ed convinces Scully to get a tattoo of an Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail, which, I mean, she talked about earlier in the episode how like nothing changes in the X-Files and it's like they just keep, doing the same thing and not making progress. And again, it seems like somebody getting a tattoo of something that is not good. Like I feel like usually people get tattoos for things that are like that they value or like, but both Ed and Scully are like, let me get tattoos that sort of represent stuff that I don't like about my life.
Yeah, that is weird. That,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I will say I'm reading a book right now that has a lot of mentions because it's on like a family crest of the
The
snaky thing.
Ouroboros.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just not going to pronounce it because I
I
don't.
don't know if I'm doing it right. I have a long history of not pronouncing things right, including English words. So, who knows? But I'll say it with confidence.
Yeah. Um, and I think of this every single time those get brought up.
Oh,
Is where this story is going. Is just that this is I think maybe this was my first reference to them as a concept
oh, yeah.
as a you know I don't know, very young teenager, maybe.
Yeah.
And so this is what I think of every single time they get mentioned. Anyway.
Yeah. So Scully, there's a storm coming in. So Scully ends up staying at Ed's apartment and notices that the tattoo is bleeding. I don't know if she notices at that moment, but at some point while she's in his apartment, she notices that it's because he burnt the tattoo's face with a cigarette, trying to get her to be quiet. The tattoo is mad at Ed and says, if you kiss her, she'll die. Like basically the tattoo is gonna make Ed kill Scully if he kisses her, I think.
That, once again, tattoo best practices. Burning a new tattoo with a cigarette is like just the worst idea.
I guess he was trying to get that dude to remove it, but the guy said we get the tattoos we deserve. But he also said we can't remove a 1 day old tattoo. I don't really know what best practice is to make a tattoo stop talking.
No, but I'm saying you shouldn't burn a cigarette on your new tattoo.
You shouldn't burn a cigarette on
No,
any part of you.
no, but like,
I guess I'm just thinking if a tattoo could talk and you really needed it to shut up, I'm not sure what you should do.
yeah, but probably not cause an infection, right? That's not going to help.
I've had tattoos get infected, but not from cigarette burns, from going to Derby while it was still an open wound. So,
That sounds like a bad idea too.
yeah. And I didn't do it because the tattoo was too loud. Um, um, so the next morning, Ed goes out and two detectives stop by and ask Scully if Ed is there, and she says no, but the woman downstairs is missing, and so they're investigating it. And Scully tells them that
Implied
she
they,
what?
it's implied they spent the night together,
It
right?
is implied they spent the night together.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. Yeah, which I think is a lot of what is weird for people because it's so like Mulder and Scully should be together, but also I don't know. I feel like Scully is human, and I wouldn't choose Ed Jurse for her. She does not have good taste in men, but like I do get the idea of it being someone else. That seems reasonable.
Yeah. Again, though, lots of people in Philadelphia.
Plenty of people in Philadelphia
Yeah.
who don't have tattoos that talk to them, or that you don't encounter in a shady tattoo parlor yelling about getting a tattoo removed. Um, so there was blood found in the neighbor woman's apartment that has ergot in it, they find out. And
Okay.
that is where I talked to you about ergot poisoning.
I mean, do you want to talk to me about it? Do you want me to talk to you about it?
Oh, I meant I would like to have a conversation about ergot poisoning where you tell me things.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
Yes.
sure if you had
No.
information or
So
if you were
no, I
like,
do not have information. It is a plant, and what they think
nope.
is it's not a plant. Okay, it's not a plant. See, I can't even do that. But they think whatever it is was in the tattoo ink is what Scully is thinking. And so when Ed comes back, she's telling him like, "There's something bad in your tattoo ink. I think we should both go to the hospital and get tested and see if we got something bad from this tattoo parlor."
Yes. That is a good plan on Scully's
Yeah.
part. So ergot is actually a fungus that
Mm,
often infects a type of plant, so cereal grains. So that's why, I mean, so it's fair to associate it with wheat and other
okay.
grains because it can, in uh, damp climates, it can sometimes colonize um, those plants and then show up
Okay.
in the grain.
Okay.
So it's a fungus. It can cause some real bad stuff. So it can, I think, if they're bringing it up here, my guess is that they're thinking about like um the fact that it can cause some psychosis and hallucinations and things like that. The interesting thing about ergot is that I mean, there's a lot that's interesting, I think, but is that it also can cause like gangrene and stuff. And
Oh,
so if you have it in a wound, like they have not been low level ingesting unprocessed bread with ergot in it, which could cause like hallucinations and stuff like that.
really?
Yeah, but they have had this fungus presumably directly implanted in their skin. I would expect different deleterious effects from it than the ones they are experiencing.
You'd expect the tattoo to get gangrene instead of talk.
Yes, I would. Yes. Yeah. And so ergot is one of it's not a very popular theory anymore. It was a theory for part of what started the Salem witch trials.
Oh,
Yeah, and so there were.
I read this somewhere very recently.
Oh, really?
It was in that book that which book that I want you to read? I talked about it on the last
Oh,
episode.
Bewitched?
Bewitched. No.
No.
Bewitched. Bewitched is the show.
Bewitching, maybe?
The Bewitching?
The Bewitching. Okay,
The
that sounds right.
Bewitching. We did
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Not
Yes.
Bewitched.
Yes, ergot poisoning is an explanation for the Salem witch trials gets brought up in The Bewitching.
Interesting. It's now not a very scientifically sound
Oh,
reasoning behind
really?
it. Yeah. But for a while, it was like an interesting new theory because it does cause like seizures and hallucinations and like some of the things that you could trace back to like some of the initial symptoms that people were experiencing. Um, most people think it's more likely to be a combination of like misogyny and racism and puritanical
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, that seems a lot more likely than ergot poisoning. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, and it's
Probably
again,
more common.
well, and it's possible because it was apparently like a rainy year, and ergot shows up more in cold, rainy climates when summers are not bright enough, and so the fungus gets introduced into the grain and then doesn't have a chance to really like dry out, and so then it spreads. And again, this is like people making their own grain and bread, and so
Mm.
but all of this is to say that it would probably just cause gangrene and infections if it was in a tattoo. They
Got
would
it.
have to have been ingesting it, which is interesting because I feel like normally we've talked about this, how the X-Files takes a like you ingest things and then
Yeah.
they happen to you.
Yeah, it really does. It's all about eating things.
Yeah, whereas this is actually the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one time where they should be eating something, but it'd be a weird episode if it was like Scully went and shared some dinner rolls with this dude in Philadelphia, and then the dinner rolls talked to them or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not as interesting. But yes, that's
I don't know. I would watch the hell out of a talking dinner roll episode of the X-Files.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Um,
Voiced by Jodie Foster.
so that's the lowdown on ergot.
Okay. Well, Scully gets the information specifically that it is ergot because of calling the FBI and getting their test results that they've gotten on this blood from this downstairs apartment. And when Ed gets back and she's talking to him about, like, hey, I think we should get tested, the tattoo gets Ed to like redial and find out who she last called and sees that it's the FBI. So he then finds out she's an FBI agent and the tattoo is like, you gotta kill her. And so he takes, like, they fight, he takes her down to the basement with the fire, but at the last minute, he's able to overcome the impulses of the tattoo and he sticks his arm in the big thing of fire and ow. And Scully is okay. And we do find out, yes, there was ergot in Ed's blood. They find out at this burn center, but not enough to account for everything. And Mulder says, "Oh, you're the, first person to make a second X-File appearance," which I feel like, I don't know if that's totally true. Does Toombs only count for one? Because
Oh, that Scully is?
that Scully is. Yeah.
Oh, um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe no, because Tombs is like the same thing.
He's the same like
Yeah, whereas this is like
phenomenon.
a totally different sort of issue.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I buy it.
Okay. But so anyway, Mulder then kind of says like, Scully, is this about our earlier argument, all of this, that happened? And she's like, not everything is about you, which I think is a great ending. And I don't like to I don't want to think, oh, we should take into account Scully's cancer. Like I'm glad that we know this was originally not set up like that because I think it's a valid thing for her to be thinking as like a whole person who's not just one half of the Mulder and Scully team.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I liked this episode more than I thought I would because I think at the time it was just like, I can't bear to see Scully with someone other than Mulder.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean like I still love Mulder, but
Yes.
again, like I think his flaws are much more apparent when you're 37 and not 17. You know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I also wanted to bring up about this episode that I don't know if it's an X-file.
Well, except that they don't know that the levels of ergot would account for that.
But even then, somebody thinking they hear their tattoo sounds like schizophrenia or something. It doesn't sound
Yeah, that's true.
like there's nothing where the tattoo gains information that Ed doesn't have or something,
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's such a
yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
He could just be suffering from some sort of other issues, and not,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I need to bring up something to a physicist.
Oh, great.
Is that's the episode, right?
That is the episode. Yep.
Okay, so, um, there, I've been seeing these Instagram ads that are targeted for parents whose children don't sleep. I can only imagine. And it's like for this little handheld device that sends like pulse waves, I guess, of current that's supposed to be like stimulating your child's like I don't know, these like pressure points in the hand that help you fall asleep. I think it's basically BS. But I clicked on an ad because I was curious about what
Uh-huh.
this was, and then there was all this stuff about your kid falling asleep right away. And then I looked up to see if there was anything similar on Amazon so I could read reviews and because I was curious. Because if it would work, then yes, 100%, I would buy it.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so it's like this little, like little, again, handheld buzzy thing.
Okay.
And so, okay, use warning. And so it's like, do not use with implanted medical appliances such as pacemakers, blah, blah, blah. Um, okay, if you are allergic to current, or don't
What?
accept current reactions, please buy it carefully. And I was like, that can't be a thing, right? People can't be allergic to current, right?
That doesn't make sense. No. That sounds like utter BS because current is moving charge, right? It's the motion of electrons.
Okay. So,
So,
I mean, there's a lot of current in our bodies, yes?
well, I mean, there's like small things like within cells. Generally, we don't have like excess current running through us. Like, you can build up like static charge, right? Like, especially when it's dry out, like now, like in the winter, you get a lot of excess charge on your body. And then if you like touch metal and you get that shock, what's happening is the excess charge is moving off of you and jumping to the metal doorknob or whatever. So that's current, briefly. If we get too big of current, we do have problems because that can be dangerous. Like that's why you don't want to well, that's why you don't want to get hit by lightning. It's why you want to, if your car is hit by lightning, you want to be careful. Let's
Right.
just ignore that sound for the moment. Yeah, so, but no, allergic to current does not make any sense because current is just moving electrons.
Okay, that's what
Like
I
current
thought.
can be dangerous, absolutely, but allergic to it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. Like you couldn't be more like I can't be around pollen as much as you, but it's not like
Yeah.
I can't be
No,
around current.
no, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
No,
All right. I didn't think so.
no.
But I was just like, this is ridiculous. Okay. Yeah. Can't be allergic to current. Good to know.
Yeah. So real quick before we go, I'm going to share this listener story.
Yes.
Okay, so this is from a listener. Uh, and this listener has noticed a few times when they're like in bed at night, they're asleep, and then they'll like hear somebody talking or hear something, and then they'll think, "Oh, I think that was just part of my dream." Like they wake up a little bit, and it's always like kind of near the window in their house, and so they thought it might be, oh, their partner said something to them, but then they're like, "Oh no, they're already out of bed, like they're not there." Oh, but I think it was just my dream. Okay, well, on a recent day this listener hears something being said, and as they wake up and hear it, their dog also raises its head and tilts it and clearly has heard something. And
Whoa.
what they hear is a child's voice saying, "And that's the Constitution of the United States."
What?
Yes, coming from this spot near the window of their house.
And so what happened after? Like, was that
They looked around to see if there's anything generating it. Didn't see anything. Um,
because, like, could it, like, I mean, like a radio or,
like you gotta think there's some sort of thing playing somehow.
yeah.
Whatever it is has not been spotted by our listener.
Oh man, weird.
Yes.
It's like it makes me think of two things. One is like a it seems more like some sort of like creepy time loop than like a
Oh, a time loop. I like that.
than like a straight up haunting, you know? Like it's
Yeah.
like a I don't know, like an echo from
Like something
live
in,
there. I don't know.
well, no one else has ever lived in this house but our listener.
But have children lived there at some point?
Yes, children have lived there. That's true. I mean, like our listener has lived in their home for a while.
I think I know who this listener is and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's creepy. Why I freaked out mid-episode is I was like, oh, hearing something talk to you like a tattoo. And I was like, oh no. In this case, it's not the tattoo, it's the window giving facts about the Constitution.
It also makes me think of oh God, did you ever listen to the podcast oh what was it called? My Own Backyard or
Oh, maybe.
I think you might have because I know Alyssa, your stepdaughter,
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
And because we've talked about it, and there was like someone had buried underneath their or well, someone moved into this house that was
Yes.
suspicion. And there was an alarm that they would hear going off. It seemed to be coming from like the dirt outside their window.
Yes.
And like the alarm was set, it turned out for the time that this person who was missing would have been getting up to go like swim or
Yes.
something every day.
Yes. Oh my God, of course, yeah.
And so that's I don't think it's I don't think
And
that
our dad once thought for a while that he was being abducted by aliens, and there was a sound that they made. You know about this, right, Helen?
I don't
For
know.
a while, probably when you were a toddler, our dad thought he was being abducted by aliens because he would hear this weird beep every morning, and he thought that's what the sound of the aliens erasing his memory. It
Oh God.
was around when communion was coming out. It turns out it was just an alarm that was set to go off at the same time every day that he didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's creepy.
It's
Huh.
real creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I still feel like this is something that fully could be explained by like a
it has to be. It
yeah,
has to be.
yes,
But also, I do think the time loop idea is intriguing if we're going to have something supernatural because
right.
it doesn't. Also, our listener had said it wasn't like it's always a children's voice that she heard. It's like other sounds sometimes. of people's voices. So, but
The
this is the only time that they've seen someone else, in this case, the dog, clearly react.
Now, could the dog have been reacting to the listener? You know, like
That
I
was
mean,
my question, and they
yeah,
said no, that the dog raised their head as like that was part of like the listener waking up and being like, oh, the dog is alert and I'm hearing this.
huh? Hmm.
Yeah, it's creepy,
Yeah,
but
interesting.
not sinister.
No,
But
not sinister.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
no. Uh, but weird for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
a good X. I feel like it's a good X file that would end up not actually being supernatural. You know,
Yes.
like a an interesting unexplained thing that's probably not supernatural in origin, but I can't think of what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what makes it such an intriguing
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right. Wow. Well, send us your stories,
Please
everybody.
do. Yeah. Send us your stories. We'd love to share them. We can anonymize them or no.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Memento Mori next week, along with the Fluke Man versus Phyllis Paddock.
Mr. Flukman. Yeah.
Mr. Fluke Man.
Great. All right. Well, until next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We Want to Believe is hosted by Helen Werner and Liz Holden. It's produced by Zach Werner. The We Want to Believe theme music was created and recorded by Zach Werner. Find us at wewanttoBelievePod.com, on Instagram at wewanttoBelievePod, or send us an email at wewanttoBelievePod@gmail.com.